Hello glam dolls and glam gents, welcome to my channel. Here you learn hair, nails, makeup, and you'll receive God's word. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Okay, so I have another mat. Now these sheets right here, well, I got these right here, these little clear placemats. I got these from, I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I got these from my local Dollar Tree. And I printed off the Tammy Taylor practice sheets. And I have two of them. This one has bead controls and how you lay your bead. And this one is a sheet on how you pick up your beads. And I got these off of, I'm not even going to say off of her website. I Googled these and I screenshot it and then I printed off on my printer through my screenshot. That's how I was able to get these. But I'm assuming that you can go to her website and she may have these on there. I just printed it off. And so what I did was just placed it up under this mat. And so once it's time to practice, I can just, remove it and put it back on. So I'm picking up a bead because this first one is bead consistency. So we're going to start with the very first one. We're going to lay that bead. So that first one, I laid that circle bead. And this is how you actually pick up your beads. Your consistency of your beads. So you lay that bead. And that bead should not be running all over the place. It should be just wet enough for you to move it around. But that's how that bead should look. And then the next one, same thing. I'm going to pick up my acrylic. I'm going to place my bead. I'm not pressing anything in. I'm just lightly tapping it. And bam. Now if your beads are too wet, this is how you'll be able to tell whether your beads are too wet or too dry. Because if it's too wet, your acrylic will stick to your brush. If it's too dry, your acrylic won't move off of your brush. It'll kind of just stay in one position. And so yeah, these are great sheets to practice on. So you practice your bead consistency. So I'm going to get her to go ahead and practice a bead consistency. Submerge your brush into the liquid. Tap off just one side. Pick up a small enough bead because you're going to do that first one. She's just placing that bead. She's letting it sit. She's making sure it's inside that line, and that's just perfect. You don't want to start going mashing the top or anything. You just want to make sure that the line around it doesn't have any acrylic. So make sure your acrylic is not draining past that line. So you want to lightly tap that in as that's drying down. You don't use the tip of that brush. Alright. And so that's how she places that bead. This is how she can practice how to control those beads. So her next one, she's going to get another bead. She's going to submerge that brush into the liquid. She's going to tap off one side, take out that excess liquid. She's going to pick up a bead. She's going to count 1, 2, 3. She's going to place that bead. She wasn't supposed to mash it down. She was supposed to just sit it. But that bead is in. Once that bead is in, you want to make sure you keep cleaning up around the side walls to make sure no acrylic is getting on that skin. And here in this case, she want to make sure it is not getting around the outside of that line. So if you mash that side in there, you want to make sure it has a circular form. You want to make sure it does not have a flat base. So she's going to do her last bead. And like I said, y'all, these are really good for learning how to control your beads, which is what I really have her working on. Even though she lays her acrylic pretty well, she does nails well enough. She laid that bead. She didn't pick up enough acrylic, but she's going to go ahead and make that work. She can go ahead and pick up another small bead and add it to it before it dries down. her problem is mashing that acrylic. As soon as she placed that bead just now, she mashed it down. She has too much acrylic, so it's drying, is all over the place, as you can see. So that's why I say this sheet right here is very good for practicing your bead consistency. That's what it's for. So she'll get it because she'll see that, oh no, that's too wet. It's draining all over the place, so she'll know her next bead to pick up less liquid. She has a big mountain of acrylic sitting up there, so she needs to work that out. That's not how you do that. You're not painting, you're laying acrylic. You're not coming down in there, you're creating a ball. Why are you side swiping? So as you can see, the difference in the other balls is too much acrylic. She has way too much acrylic. It has a mountain of acrylic, and that's not how you want to lay it. So from here, she'll see in her next one what she needs to improve on. So this is not bad for her first time. As she go along, she's going to complete this whole row for me. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has 10 of them. I did the first row, so she'll complete the rest of them. And then we'll come back and show you how her bead consistencies look. And then I'll get her to work on the next row of how you apply the acrylic on the nail. Just practice. Once you place that bead, you shouldn't be mashing anything around nowhere. You should just have placed that bead and let it do what it do. Still, you can see you picking up too much acrylic because that's the small one. Picking up too much acrylic because you have a mountain of acrylic sitting there. It needs to be flat like this very first one you did. And you're knocking the paper from under there. You need to be able to stay in the line. So she's gonna be practicing that for a while, y'all. You got too much acrylic in that brush. Clean your brush. Clean the brush. Don't drip it in the acrylic. And while she's doing that, I'm gonna show y'all the fingernail that she just did on her practice hand. She placed the tip on it and she laid that acrylic. Now she do have to go in and file and shape and buff this nail, but that's how it looks. She has a nice apex there. Once she cleans this up, that'll look really well. She's doing really well. And like I said, y'all need a class, then y'all can book me. And I promise you, you'll see an improvement and a growth in from where you were to where you want to be. So it's guaranteed that you won't leave until you know how to lay acrylic on that nail. She laid that bead very nicely. Very nicely. You can see that one. Very nicely. She shouldn't have a mountain there because she's still picking up too much acrylic. But it's laid very neatly inside of that line. Nothing is coming outside of that line onto the finger and the cuticle. So basically, don't press when you're dropping it. Just put it down. Do not press. That's coming all out the circle. That's not how it should look. And you just want to lightly tap it in. You don't want to push anything up because what's going to happen is you're going to make a mountain. A big mountain shape. And you don't want that. You're not pressing the acrylic. You're making sure just all your sides around your circle are even. You shouldn't have a square looking shape. Everything should be circular. Going all the way around it. It should be in circle shape. You don't use your brush like that. That's not how you hold your brush. That's not how you hold your brush way down there. Hold your brush so you can control it. You're using the tip of that brush. You're not using the top of it. You're using the tip only to match that acrylic. And you're not going on top of that acrylic. You're only going around the sides of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Go around the sides of it. With the tip of your brush, go around the sides that needs going around. There's a big uneven dip on that side of that circle. So you see, why did you go back on this one? And you were over here. Why did you go put more acrylic there?
I didn't finish that.
So why you start on this one? Like I said, as you can see, her same thing in the second one. She's picking up too much of acrylic. Her brush is too wet and she's picking up too much acrylic. And she's pressing it down still again. As soon as she pick it up, she's pressing it down again. Keep practicing. That's why you're practicing. It ain't no big thing. Just do the next one better. The next one better. As you can see, that one you missed. You didn't pick up enough acrylic. You got to get your bead consistency right. You didn't pick up enough acrylic because you still have a surrounding area outside there that don't have any acrylic. She's not counting. That's why she's picking up the wrong size bead, because she's not placing in that acrylic, and she's not dragging that brush on the count of 3. She's not doing any of that, so that's why she's not picking up the correct amount of acrylic. And that's gonna be lumpy and bumpy because none of that is smooth as you just lay that. And you don't use your brush sideways to lay acrylic. Yes, y'all, if you come to my training, my boot camps, I am very intense. I am very tough on you because I want you to get it. And if I keep saying it, that means you're not doing it right. If I keep saying don't flatten your brush when you place that bead, then that means don't flatten that brush when you place the bead. You place that bead, you let it sit. Same thing you would do on a nail. You place that bead, you let it sit. You can't let it sit outside of the bead. That's already wrong. That there, same thing. She placed the bead and she pressed it. As you can see, her circle is not even. She's not paying attention to the inside of the shape of that acrylic. That should be a circle shape acrylic. She's not paying attention to that. She got it all kind of shapes. It should look just like this, flat, but it should have a circle shape, a dome shape. So as you go down along the line, she should be improved. She should get better. You shall see that. How it feels to be trained by me? Is it tough? Is it intense? What do you think?
It's tough.
Is my training intense?
Yes, ma'am.
She said my training intense, y'all. So that means y'all got to get on it if you really want to learn this thing, and she really wants to learn. So she really wants to learn it, so she have to go through this training. And just because she knows how to do nails, which she do know how to do full set of nails, that does not mean she would not still be under my training. She will still know how to lay a bead properly. You don't have it on that thing right. She will still know how to lay a bead properly and all of that. So, yep. Y'all, I'm very direct, so if you hear my voice change, it's not because I'm being mean or anything. That's just how I talk. When I'm telling you something to do it right and you keep doing it the same way, my voice get a little sterner and a little more sterner and a little more sterner until you finally say, okay, her voice telling me that I'm doing something wrong, so I'm going to get it right this time. I'm going to take heed to what she's saying. I'm going to pick up less acrylic. I'm going to make sure not that much liquid is in my brush. I'm going to do what she says, and then I'll get it. So, like I said, my training is intense, but you will learn. She's still pressing that bead down. As soon as she dropped that bead, she got to get that out of her routine of picking up beads and pressing it as soon as she pick it up. You don't press any of the acrylic out, because like I said, when you're laying acrylic on that nail, as soon as you press that out, you're actually removing that apex. So you're going to have a difficult time building the apex. And as you try to build the apex on that nail, what you're going to see is that nail's going to get thicker and thicker and thicker. It's going to get thicker and thicker and thicker, and then you're going to have a big old thick nail, and clients don't want, you know, thick nails, and that's not how you do nails. Excessively thick. She's not submersing that brush in her liquid either. Submerge that brush into the liquid. Tap off one side. You place that bead in there. 1, 2, 3. Pick up that bead. Powder should not be dropping everywhere like she just did. You don't pick up, that means your beads are too wet when you picking them up. You can't drop it like that. You got to make sure it's in the circle. You can't drop it outside the circle, have it sticking out everywhere. So that bead is pretty nice, but you got to get it in the circle. So you can spread it around a little bit. Just don't mash it out. Don't mash it out. Just spread it around. That's not spreading it around. You mashing it in. That's not the size of that circle, so why would you mash it inward? Your bead done dry down, now you can't move it, so leave that. So when you go to your next one, you see what you need to work on. Like I said, y'all, she's still picking up her beads not correctly. She's still pressing it soon as she's placing it on that mat. She needs to drop that bead, let it sit for a second, and all she needs to do is make sure no liquid is in her brush and get around that area, the outside area, and make sure no acrylic is draining. She shouldn't be pressing anything up into that thing. She should just be cleaning around the outside perimeter of that circle. So that one looks really nice, even though it's way bigger than that circle. It's way outside of that line, but it looks way better than the other beads that she has laid. So that one looks really nice. So you can see that bead looks really nice. It's really flat. It has a slight apex to it, and you don't need to do it. You're not having on there right. So the bead looks nice. You don't have to do anything else to that one because the bead is fine. You just mess the bead up by pressing the siding. Why you press the siding, I don't know. You don't do anything to the top of it. Stop pressing the top of it. Stop patting the top of it out, and just make sure around the perimeter of that circle is even. So you shouldn't have a triangle pointed looking thing on top of that circle. On the side of that circle, you shouldn't have a pointed look. It should be straight circular. You're saying yes ma'am, but it's still pointed and you're not trying to fix it. You're going back into liquid. You don't need liquid to mash that bead, that side of that acrylic in. It's too late now because it done dry. You can't move it. She still has acrylic in her brush. She's not keeping the mind on her brush, cleaning her brush out. She dip it in there and wipe it off. That's not how you clean the brush. So yeah, she has some work to do. Consistency, consistency, consistency. That's all she needs, consistency. But overall, it looks nice. But like I said, y'all, she killed the nail right here. She did very well on this. She has a nice apex. When she goes in and clean that line up, she'll have a nice, I don't know whether her intent was to do a stiletto nail or whether to do an almond nail, because you know the almond nail has a slight point like this and it's rounded. So this looks really nice if it was an almond nail, but if she's trying to do a stiletto, then she would need to sharpen the tip and the sides of that nail. So do you know what you're going to do with this nail? Almond, or you doing the stiletto?
Almond.
So she's doing the almond, so this is the almond shape. She just has to take that file and clean up a lot alongside of it around the lines. And then she has to file and buff it smoothly. And then she has a dip right here because she didn't put enough acrylic right here on the side. So she's going to have to go back in and fill that in. But other than that, she laid that real nicely. There's no acrylic in that cuticle area. So yep. She's placing that bead. It's okay to move the bead around, just don't mash it. You don't use the belly of the brush, you use the tip of your brush. You're not painting. Did I just say don't ever go on top of it? Why are you going on top of it? And I just said do not mash it. You don't work on top of it. If that's your client hand, you'll mess a hand up laying your hand on top of it. You got a big point at the top of that, so take the belly of your brush and just slightly tap it. Do not mash it, just slightly tap it. Just slightly tap it till that thing, till your circle looks circular. Not pointed. Just make sure it looks circular. So yes, y'all. Y'all should see how she was down eyeballing that bead just now. Go back and show them how you eyeball that bead to your eye level. To make sure that bead is like it's supposed to be. She don't have any of those beads lined up on that chart correctly. I don't know what she's doing over there. She keeps taking her hand off of the mat knowing that the paper is going to slide up underneath. Why is she doing that? I don't know. She's not holding the mat down or nothing so that she'll know that her bead is inside the circle. Y'all see now, y'all come to me, I'm going to call you out just like that. Take it for love. Because after a while, after somebody tell you something for so long, it'll finally register. So she keep hearing me say something to click eventually, and they'll say, you know what, let me just do it how she said. And it'll be a whole lot easier. Let me just do it how she said do it. And it'll come out the way that she said it would come out. But when you got in your head that you're going to lay beads, I don't know what she have going on right here with none of the stuff lined up. None of the circles, the beads are lined up under here. So what does she have going on, y'all? Can somebody tell me? How you feeling right now?
Good.
Oh, you feeling good about it? You feeling good about your work?
Not all of it.
Okay. How you feel about your work?
Different ones I feel good and different ones I feel.
So
I
what's
need to
your
work on it.
weakest point right now? What's your area that you need to strengthen?
This one right here.
Right, so what's your area? What area do you need to strengthen your skills? What are you doing wrong
Oh,
that you need to correct?
I keep, every time I pick up a bead, I pat it down. I mash it down on the mat instead of dropping it like she says.
And you don't drop it, you place it.
Well, place it down like she says.
What else do you see need improvement? From mine up into the ones that you did. You started off real nice, even though you had mounds of things. And then you started off just going all kind of shapes. So I don't know what she got going on. Y'all, let me come in a little closer so you can see what she got going on. So she went from this one and she's went here. So I don't know what's happening. That's why I asked her how she feeling about what she got going on, because what her work's showing is showing that something ain't right. So I like how she placed that. That's perfect. She should not be holding that brush down on the angle like she about to paint, because that's not a paintbrush. That is an acrylic brush. And she is laying acrylic. She is not painting. That one looks really nice. It's on the circle. It's not one of her, looks like the bottom part is running into her cuticle area. She's not paying attention to any of that. She's still picking up liquid, which she don't need. You don't pick up liquid to fix your problem. You don't lay your hand on top of your client's other nails acrylic. You don't hold your brush like that. You don't use the belly of your brush. You use only the tip of your brush to fix the sides of that nail. And you're not patting it in. You're just pressing it into shape. So you're using the tip of your brush to press it into shape. It looks better than all the beads that she had placed this far. There's a little lopsided on one side because she didn't press it in like she's supposed to, but she can go on to the next one. And when you start my class, I'll probably have you do the sheet about 2 or 3 times. You probably work on the sheet about a good 2 or 3 times, and then we'll move on to laying acrylic on the actual training hand, whatever training hand that I have supplied for you, or whatever training hand that you bring. And like I said in my flyers that I posted about my learn that technique, name that technique, that's the name of my class, name that technique. You can choose 3 techniques that you want to advance your skills in, and that requires you to bring your own supplies. But if you do not have a kit or any supplies, I will supply you with one for an additional cost. So yep, if you need a nail kit, then I have one for you. And whenever you book in this particular class with me, it is pay in full. You pay the class in full, so there's no deposit. You just be ready to pay for that entire amount of that class. And like I said, if you're interested in that, you can follow my nail page at drip_pretty on Instagram. That is my nail page, and you'll see the flyers and stuff there. That looks really nice. Now I am very, very pleased with how that last one is looking. Now on that second one, she still didn't bring that acrylic far enough to that cuticle area. It still has a space, but she laid those very well, so I'm very pleased with those. Just let them dry and go on to your next one. But if y'all can see it, y'all will be able to see the improvement. Like, she's getting it. She's saying to herself over there, let me be mindful of my beads. Let me hold this thing down. Don't let it run out. Yes, y'all, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just let it sit for a couple of seconds before you start moving anything on it, even the sides. Just a couple of seconds, maybe about 5 seconds, and then you start taking the tip of that brush and you press it in around that circle. Y'all, she over here rolling her eyes because she tired of hearing me say it. But she not tired of hearing me say it yet because she's still doing it. But that looks really good. So from the last 3 beads she just placed to these, yeah, y'all can tell she's getting it, right? She tired of hearing me say it. Yeah, so look how she's placing. Look how she's placing that bead. Yes, look at her beads. She doing that, y'all. She doing it. It's nothing that needs to be done to those beads. Like, they are perfectly on those dots. Y'all, I got to zoom in and show y'all that. See, she tired of hearing me now. Yep, she is tired of hearing me. So it looks so good. It looks so good. And she over there saying yay because she see her improvement from number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 7 and 8. So it took her up to 7 to 8 times to get it right. And she's going to do 9 and 10, and then she's going to clear that off, and she's going to do it all over again. And then we'll move to row 2, where she's placing it on the actual nail. And the actual nail will start here. She's placing it on that free edge, and then she'll move down towards the cuticle. So yeah, I just wanted to come in and share some of how my nail training is going to be, how it sounds to be in my nail training, how I'm going to stay on you if you're not doing it right. So yeah, I'm just wanting to give you a little taste of what it's like to be in my nail training. And yeah, she has it. She has it. So how do you feel about your training?
It was intense, but easy at the same time.
Why is it easy?
Because I finally listened and did what she told me to.
So what's your favorite part about me teaching?
When she's telling us how to lay the acrylic and teaching us how to keep it inside the circle and off the cuticles.
So yeah, y'all hear it from her own mouth how my training is. So if y'all want to taste a little bit of my Name Your Technique course, then y'all go ahead and book that with me. And y'all, I'm gonna go on off of here and let her finish practicing these. And yeah, y'all, let's get ready.